Good afternoon, DGen Nation, and welcome to another thrilling episode of Reactive Recaps. I am your humble host, Rancid R2, and sitting beside me, as always, from Trading from the High Discord, my man Yellowbird himself. How are you, Bird?
Pretty good, brother. Pretty good.
Big day in the market today. All-time highs, cracked 18,000 on NQ, cracked 500 on SPY. Wild day out there.
Yeah, it's been a fun one. Been a fun last couple of months. That's for sure.
Well, you know what they say. It's just as much fun on the way up when it inevitably comes back down.
Oh yeah, yeah. I tend to have more fun on the way down than the way up.
And it's been my experience down happens a lot faster.
Yes.
So I hope everyone that's listening to my wonderful voice, that they are trading smart today and not YOLOing long all the way. Wait for the pullbacks, people. And I'd be honestly, at this time of the day, liquidity is probably going to get very dry. So I wouldn't expect much huge moves for the remainder of the day. But that's just me. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah.
So
it's the time. It's time to take a step back on a Friday afternoon.
yeah, especially with Super Bowl weekend, everyone's probably leaving work early. Everyone already made their money on the run up this morning. So everyone's probably just chilling. I wouldn't be surprised if we chopped around the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So with that said, I am going to go first this time because I don't have a recap necessarily. But I want to explain that I am not immune to all the anxiety, tilt, if you will, that all of you experience on the daily, because it happened to me this morning. And it's just simply from a lack of paying attention and me being careless in how I was trading this morning. So over the last few months, I have been doing a strategy that seems to work for me. I call it long the open. And I don't recommend anybody doing this just because I'm saying I'm doing it, okay? But my theory is this. The stock market always goes up over time. Okay? We are in a massive bull run. We are at all-time highs. People get excited about that. So I find that long the open often has a very strong, going long off open is often a strong long, okay? But that doesn't mean you don't look at the macro market either, okay? So this morning's a perfect example of along the open didn't work and how it couldn't have worked worse for me, okay? So my normal position size on long the open is pretty small for the most part, because it's pretty much a crapshoot of what's going to happen. So this morning, there was a sell-off coming into the market, and we were already in a little bit of a downtrend after making a new all-time high. So I expected a little bit of a sell-off, and I'm a patient guy. I don't need to make my money in 2 minutes. I can wait 4 minutes. So at 9:32, a red bearish candle, went through yesterday's high and wicked back up on it. Now, from my experience with the long the open, usually in the open, when I say the open, I mean the first like 3 or 4 candles, the original move gets reversed. Okay. Now, if you don't believe me, that's fine. Go back and look. So if you don't long the open, wait for the short to finish up and then long, because that has always worked. Okay. And how do you tell when a short is finishing up? You see a giant wick, like that wick at 9:32. I'm like, okay, the bulls have arrested momentum here. Let's go long. So my normal position size is 5 MNQ. Popped it up and let it go. Unfortunately for me, the market didn't agree with my bullish assessment at the time, and it sold off. Let's say 20 points. But it closed on its own, which doesn't happen unless you've blown your account. And I'm thinking to myself, how could I blow my account? I had well over $2,500 in there, and I haven't lost anything. Oh, silly Keith, silly Rancid, sorry. I don't care if you know my first name. It was 5NQ, and I'm the type of guy that doesn't look at the P&L because I'm just looking at points. and lo and behold, blew the eval, and I went full on tilt, where I had to actually, I was so anxious that I had to like take a few minutes and step back and realize that it wasn't a true trading error per se. It was just carelessness, and that's unacceptable for me. So I had to take a minute to kind of get myself back on the right track, and I did make a successful trade later, but that doesn't forgive how stupid of a move that was. So dot your I's, cross your T's. When you get tilt, stop. Take a minute. There'll always be something else to catch later. So, I say this with you with all transparency, people. Like, I am no better mentally equipped than you guys, and I am as susceptible to tilt as everybody else. The only thing that I may do different than you guys with regard to tilt is maybe I recognize it sooner and I can force myself to stop. So I'm glad I had this example to show you, to explain to you guys and let you guys know that what you guys go through, that shit happens to me too. So with that, I will let Bird go over what a responsible trader does in the market today. Hey.
Yeah, I too have experienced that tilt from time to time, but today I did not. I had a moment where I possibly could have tilted, but I had clarity this morning. All right, so to go over what I traded today, when the jobs number came out, we saw that spike up and then we trickled back down into the open. We came down and we broke the previous day high, and we did this little flag right here into previous day high, which is one of my favorite setups of all time, is a flag into a prior level that is just broken. And I took a short on that position, and on the next candle it blew right through my stop, broke above previous day high, and showed some strength. Now that candle that stopped me out, it broke through previous day high, and then the next candle at 9:48 Eastern Standard Time, it came back and retested previous day high. That usually is where I go long. I would go long, but having just been stopped out of a short, I didn't want to go just randomly go into a long. That seems too much like a revenge trade for myself. So I took a step back and I just let things develop. Next couple of candles were indecision candles, and then we came back down and I got my chance when we tested previous day high again. We tapped previous day high here on this 940 or 954 candle, and then we showed a tiniest bit of strength. I took a long right here at 901.50, and she proceeded to go up. Now she went up 50 points. I scaled all the way every 10 points up to 50 points, and then she retraced back down 30 points. What happened there is from 0 to 100, I have a 30-point trail stop, and then this last runner, I have a 100-point trail stop. So it came down and hit my trail stop and stopped me out of those 5 remaining contracts, but it kept this one here, and this is the one that is currently going as we are pushing. Well, we're kind of consolidating just below, but I've locked in 40 points right there, guaranteed today on that last contract. But that is how I traded today. But yeah, there was that very easy moment that I could have tilted, and I decided to take a step back and be responsible this morning. But there have been plenty of days where I was not responsible. Now, one thing I want to go over additionally is where I get the previous day high and low, because I've had some people ask questions about this. And yesterday, provided a really good example on ES. All right. Let me zoom in here, okay? All right, so ES, the official high of the day is 50.20, okay? But if you look at it, the high during regular trading hours is 50.18.25. So I mark the high of the day or the low of the day, respectively, as what happens during regular trading hours. So to me, the 1600 candle and anything after does not count as high of the day or regular trading hours for me. So that is, I don't take that into consideration. So what I'll do is I will go ahead and mark during regular trading hours, either the previous high of the day, previous low of the day, give it the appropriate colors and everything like that, and then just run with that. I keep the previous high of day on NQ or MNQ, on RTY or M2K, and then down here on ES or MES. But that is how I trade, how I mark my previous high, previous low of the day. And then those are one of the big four levels that I trade off of. I will trade off of the I will trade off of the Globex low, Globex high, previous day low, and previous day high.
I use the same levels. They and Bird, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't that also kind of give you like the not I don't want to say bias, but like a inclination, if you will, of how the day is going to be. So if we're trading above the prior day's high, then we're looking at generally speaking, you'd be bullish. Wait for a buy signal. And if we're trading below the prior day low, then you could suspect more downside movement. It's sometimes where I get chopped up is when I'm trading in the middle of those two levels. Because if it's in yesterday's range, it might be a little bit more difficult to navigate. But would you agree with that if we're trading above and below those levels?
Most definitely. That is a great way of putting it. That is a great way of putting it. And I never really thought of it that way and put it into my trading system, but that is one thing I'm going to start looking at.
I appreciate that, man. It's just been something I've been looking at myself and noticing. So, do you have any big plans for the Super Bowl? Just off topic.
No big plans. Placed a few bets for the Super Bowl.
Who we liking?
Well, I'm liking Kansas City, but I did not place that bet. I took the bet that I placed is I took the over on Reba McEntire's national anthem, and I took the over on the number of planes on the flyover.
Okay. Do they have a prop bet for how many times Taylor Swift is going to be shown on screen?
I did not see one, but I did see one that was whether they show the quarterback or whether they show Taylor Swift during Usher's halftime performance.
That's a good one. I wonder if there's a prop bet if Kelsey proposes to her on the field.
I didn't see that one, but the strangest prop bet I did see, I think it's 100,000 to 1, and that is that aliens invade Las Vegas during the Super Bowl and the game ends in a tie.
I'd take that.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you? It gives you the opportunity to say, This is the bet I took.
Today is a day, and this is just my opinion again. It's either you get steamrolled or you make money, like good money, days
Yeah.
like today.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm looking at it now and I'm not seeing any real good entries that I would take past probably 10 o'clock.
I have one decent entry from there was a bird special, I like to call them. There was a trend line break at 12:22. I had a trend line from the previous high of the day. It was in a downtrend, popped back over, retested, and then it made another move up. And that right around 7,980 ish, 7,990. But that's an entry I missed. I also missed the entry again on the retest of the breakout area, and that happened at 11:30 ish at the level of 968. So those were two entries that I was eyeing, and I just missed them both because I was journaling on the first one, my tilt, and I was going to lunch with my beautiful daughter, and that's well more worth it than missing a trade.
Oh
So
yeah. Oh yeah. Lunch with the kids is great.
yeah, especially on it's a beautiful day here in Long Island. It's like in the 50s, it's sunny. So yeah, take her to lunch, and she loves it. She eats pickles the whole time. Weirdest kid, I swear. But yeah, so I'm those were the two entries I missed. After that, I didn't really want to chase this anymore because, as you can see now, the candles are getting really a lot smaller. There's a lot of wicks up on each direction. It's not worth the mental capital for me to potentially ruin my weekend over 230 NQ.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, and we have a sweetheart dance tonight, which is exciting for me, like daddy daughter dance.
Oh yeah. Those are always fun.
Yeah, precious moments, man, precious moments. 2 days ago, she said I was the best dad ever. I almost started crying.
Yeah, you have you gotten the worst dad ever yet?
Yep, I like mommy better. Yeah,
Yeah, the that's the 11-year-old's favorite card to play.
these kids are gonna ruin us.
Oh man, it's just the beginning. Wait till she gets older.
And smarter. That's what I'm worried about. I could still outsmart her now. I don't know. But
I don't
overall,
I don't know about that.
um, looking at the week, I had a pretty good, solid week. Some ups and downs, but more ups and downs. I had one red day this week, and I'm proud to announce it was only of $100. So that's a fantastic week for me. Um, I'm starting to see things a little bit better, execute with a lot more confidence and a plan. So things are good, looking good.
That's always good. That is always good, brother.
Yeah, I decided I was running a little too fast with some of my sizing positions and a little cavalier with my entries. So I feel like if I want to take this as professionally as I do, then I got to treat it a little bit more professionally than I am. And so I've sized down and I'm restricting myself to 4 trades a day. That's it. After that, because I have a negative expectation, because I'm more of like, I consider myself like a little bit of a momentum trader too. Like I follow the trend,
Yeah.
and sooner or later, that trend's going to get you. So, especially on most days are rotation days or range days.
Yeah.
So, the more trades I take, the more likely I'm going to lose. So, after 4, I stop, no matter what.
Yeah, that's a solid plan. Definitely. And it helps you control and it makes you when you limit yourself on the number of trades you can take in a day, it definitely adds another level of analysis, because you're like, okay, I've only got X amount of trades to trade today. I don't want to bust my whole nut in the first 10 minutes here.
Which is so easy to do.
It is. It is. And so, it makes you more selective of what trades you enter.
100%. And it preserves my mental capital so I don't fucking go crazy. And I don't want to tilt.
Yeah.
I've been really fighting that.
Yeah, that's always the number one priority, is to preserve that mental capital for me, because it's not worth it to completely blow up an account over just stupid mental mistakes of tilting, and then thus carrying into your personal life and being an asshole to the wife and kids because you did a shitty job trading that day.
Yep. That's exactly right. I've been some other trading friends of mine have inspired me also to take a walk, go do some exercise, to get my eyes off the screens, and that's also been very helpful.
Yeah, I've got a rower that I like to hit up throughout the day. I'll row.
One of my trading friends mentioned to me, talked a lot about his success with intermittent fasting. So I tried that since like November. I've lost 50 pounds. 50. It's crazy.
That is, and good for you, brother.
It's great for me. It's terrible for my marriage. My wife is super pissed off about it because it just flew off. And I haven't even really exercised that much.
Yeah,
Super pissed.
it's a whole lot easier for us to lose weight.
Like she's secretly buying extra desserts now, hoping to tempt me to eat them. It is hilarious, but I'm not going to do it. But other than that, I wanted to apologize to listeners. I've been pretty much very unavailable the last few weeks. Just dealing with some personal stuff I had going on. But I'm making a commitment to continue to do this with my man Bird as often as we're available. So we'll start tackling more subjects, going over these very simple setups that will make you money. And yeah, you'll be hearing a lot more from me.
Yeah, it's been, the beginning of the year has been kicking my ass also. It's been a very busy one. But we got some things in the works. May have some announcements later on to be making, but we will see about that. But y'all remember to have a good one. Take some time this weekend, spend it with your family. And when you come back next week, make sure you're planning your trades, trading your plan, and preserving that mental capital.
Don't tilt. And enjoy the Super Bowl. Go 49ers.
Ooh. All right. Y'all have a good one.
Later.